Hi everyone, how you all going? And welcome to a brand new movie review. I haven't done a full-length review since late July. It's been a bit busy. I have seen quite a few movies since late July. In August, I saw quite a few movies in September as well. I just haven't done any full-length reviews recently. So you're welcome to a full-length review of Tron Ares. Now, Tron Ares, excuse me, is the third installment in the Tron film series. It follows 1982's Tron and 2010's Tron Legacy. Now, Tron Legacy, I've got a bit of a history with this movie. I saw it when I was 13 years old in cinemas with my uncle. Rewatched it in 2019, I believe, and then I rewatched it again very recently before Ares came out. The plot of the movie is very straightforward. Essentially, Julian Dillinger, played by Evan Peters, introduces this new technology from the grid in the real world, and one of those programs is Ares. Only problem is Ares can only survive for 29 minutes before dying, essentially, before becoming obsolete. And yes, he does respawn each time he dies, but he becomes desperate to find this permanence code so that Ares can actually live ongoingly without dying. And that brings him into cahoots with Eve Kim, played by Greta Lee, the new CEO of Encom in the movie. And she finds the permanence code, and then she wants to use the permanence code to actually eradicate hunger, cure diseases. You also find out in the movie that her sister was previously the CEO of Encom, and her sister, before passing away, had actually tried to find the permanence code to help, reduce cancers, to make the world a better place, essentially. So she's got her own motives for finding this permanence code. And then along the way, yes, eventually Eve gets captured, but then Ares actually forms a conscience, and he ends up siding with Eve. Then he helps her escape from the grid, and then the two of them go on a journey together to actually find the permanence code. I won't go into too many spoilers, but what I liked about this movie, the visuals were fantastic. One of the best looking movies I've seen this year. The visual effects were outstanding. For me personally, the best looking movies this year, the best movies, well, in my opinion, this year's had a few good movies with great visual effects. The best looking visual effects this year have been Tron Ares and also Fantastic Four First Steps, if I'm being honest. That movie's visual effects really blew me away as well, actually. So, yeah, the visual effects were outstanding. The score by Nine Inch Nails was also great. I enjoyed the score. Probably not as much as Daft Punk in Tron Legacy, which was they composed Tron Legacy, but overall I did enjoy the score of this movie. What else did I like about the movie? I also enjoyed some of the action scenes. A couple of fight scenes I felt were a little bit clunky, but overall I did enjoy the action scenes for the most part, that is. Gripes with the movie, I thought Greta Lee's performance was very one note, one dimensional. She wasn't really a Mary Sue, she wasn't a Mary Sue or anything. I know people always go on about, woke and, female boss. She wasn't a Mary Sue, but I just thought her performance was very one note. Another gripe I had with this movie, yes, the plot was very simplistic. It all revolves around a MacGuffin, so the MacGuffin in this movie being the permanence code. So I just thought, the plot could have been a bit stronger. And also the final showdown at the end I thought was a little bit anticlimactic, if I'm being honest. So a few gripes with this movie. But overall, I really enjoyed the visual effects, the score, the sound. Jared Leto, despite all his controversies and being a creep and all that, I actually enjoyed his performance for the most part. I know some people think he's not a great actor. He is an Academy Award winner, but I know some people think he's not a great actor. I know he was one of the worst Jokers, but I thought I know he was the worst Joker, excuse me. I actually thought his performance for the most part was pretty good. I also enjoyed Evan Peters in this movie as well. This movie also, even though it doesn't end on a major cliffhanger or anything, it ties up the main plot threads. They do set up a sequel. So yeah, it doesn't end on a cliffhanger, but they do set up a sequel. I guess it depends on how well this movie actually does at the box office, because if this movie ends up really performing very badly and no one watches it, or performs very poorly financially, I don't think there will be a sequel, but the ending of this movie does set up a sequel. So overall, Tron Ares, I would give it a 7 out of 10. And on a scale of 1 to 5, it'd be about a 3.5 out of 5. Not as good as Tron Legacy. I Look, the original Tron, it was great for its time. It is very dated now, so I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I didn't grow up watching it or anything like that. For me personally, Legacy still remains the best movie in the franchise. But this movie was very enjoyable. I enjoyed it for the most part. A couple of nitpicks here and there, a few minor gripes here and there. But overall, this movie for me about a 3.5 out of 5. I was directed by Joachim Roning. I've seen some people pronounce it as Joachim Roning, but I think it's Joachim Roning, who also directed or co-directed Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and he also directed Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which came out in 2019, the second Maleficent movie. He's not one of my favourite directors or anything like that, but I think he did a good job for the most part. At the same time, I would have liked to actually see a bit more of the grid. We do see the grid in the movie, but I would have liked to see a bit more of the grid in this movie. And the visual effects, yes, they were better than Tron Legacy, but Tron Legacy's visual effects still hold up very well to this day. But overall, 7 out of 10. Go check it out. Go support it. I think you'll enjoy it. You don't have to have watched Tron Legacy to enjoy this movie, but I think you'll still maybe enjoy it a little bit more if you have watched Tron Legacy previously. And it was cool to see Jeff Bridges actually return as well. Jeff Bridges, who played Kevin Flynn in the first movie and then again in Legacy. He comes back in this movie for one scene, but yeah, I enjoyed seeing him on screen. I enjoyed seeing him once again as Kevin Flynn. A role he's now portrayed, if you think about it, for 43 years, so that was pretty cool as well. But overall, 7 out of 10. Go watch it, go support it, and stay tuned for movie reviews, out of theater reactions, box office updates very, very soon. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.